In January this year, Donald Trump returned for his second term as the President of the United States. Once again, he promised to make America great again. But this time, his policies are making headlines for a very different reason. Since taking office, Trump has made sweeping changes.
Shame on Trump! Shame on Trump!
His latest decisions are believed to have shaken the foundations of American science and education. One of his boldest moves include the attempt to dismantle the U.S. Department of Education.
But beyond these core necessities, my administration will take all lawful steps to shut down the department. We're going to shut it down and shut it down as quickly as possible. It's doing us no good.
Nearly half its staff are already being laid off.
February, probationary employees started getting terminated. I wasn't, and we're still not sure exactly why, but who knows. But then on Tuesday evening at 6 p.m., I was chatting with some of my friends and coworkers, and we realized that all of our laptop computers had rebooted at the exact same time. And when they turned back on, we were locked out of all of our systems, and we had a letter telling us that our entire office was being abolished.
And it doesn't stop there. Key federal science agencies like National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and NASA are also seeing major job cuts. Senior scientists are being shown the door. Many research grants have been cancelled, and universities are facing direct interference from the government. Johns Hopkins has cut jobs. Columbia University has been forced to change policies under pressure from Washington. Across the board, funding is drying up. Let's listen to what the American Association of University Professors says.
It's important to underline the cruel and cynical move of the Trump administration here. They threatened to cut $400 million in critical research on things like pediatrics and cancer in order to force radical changes in how Columbia University is run. This is the greatest assault on the university, on freedom of autonomy of higher education, from political intrusion that we have ever seen since the McCarthy period, and possibly ever.
Drug companies want to sell drugs. University health science researchers want to find ways to make it so that more people don't need them. Trump's administration has terminated and taken hostage our grants, igniting frictions around issues of free speech and discrimination.
The Trump administration has withdrawn billions in funding from premier research institutions like the National Institutes of Health, or NIH. NIH, which is the world's largest medical research funder, is now left struggling.
Well, for me personally, my NIH funding was cut, and so as of yesterday, I'm unemployed. So NIH funding for tuberculosis research, one of the largest funders of tuberculosis research in the world, I think it's going to result in increased morbidity and mortality due to TB.
Nearly 150 grants for HIV research have been terminated. That's $450 million in lost funding, directly impacting work to prevent infections and improve care.
There are specific programs that are being lost that are going to have a huge impact on specific populations, for example, the cuts to HIV funding. There also are cuts I don't understand.
One research center after another is shutting down. Scientists say progress is being reversed. Many are unsure how to continue their work or where they will go. Some early career researchers fear for their future in the United States. International students are confused about what lies ahead. Many say the US no longer feels like the best place for science or public health research. Scientific journal Nature called it an assault on science. Scientists are already looking elsewhere: Europe, Canada, and Australia. Meta's chief AI scientist, Yann LeCun, warned of a possible tech talent exodus from the United States, with Europe being a likely destination. What's happening now is being compared to the brain drain of World War II. So what happened during that time? Back in the 1930s and 40s, Nazi Germany under Adolf Hitler forced many of Europe's brightest minds to flee. Scientists, doctors, and intellectuals, many of them Jewish, escaped persecution by moving to safer countries, especially the United States. That wave of migration helped transform America into a global scientific powerhouse. Back then, Europe lost many of its brightest minds to America. Now, history may be reversing with a new wave of talent leaving the US. The University of Cambridge is preparing to recruit American researchers, especially in fields like AI and biomedicine. France's higher education minister has asked universities to submit proposals to welcome US-based scientists. Aix-Marseille University in France has already launched a special program for researchers in climate science and public health. The European Commission is preparing for this shift. The European Commission is also promoting Europe's lifestyle advantages, better healthcare, work-life balance, and cultural vibrancy. President Ursula von der Leyen has proposed doubling research grants for scientists moving to the EU. Meanwhile, 10 European countries have written to the EU urging more support to attract US talent. Beyond Europe, Australia and Canada are stepping up as well. Even some Ivy League professors are now moving to Canadian universities. For example, Yale University professor Jason Stanley, who is also the author of the book How Fascism Works, is joining the University of Toronto. Stanley says the US is facing an autocratic takeover. From policy changes to funding cuts, America's scientific landscape is changing fast. And the world is watching closely as a new global shift in talent begins. That's all in this edition of Connecting the Dots. We'll see you next week with more raging issues. Until then, it's a goodbye from all of us in the Delhi newsroom. This is Munmin Bhattacharya signing off. Take care and stay safe.